In the early 20th century, before the UFC, before MMA even existed, one family started a war. Not a war with guns, a war fought on dojo floors, beach sand, garages, gyms, anywhere a man was willing to step up. This is the history of the Gracie Challenge matches, the shocking, brutal, legendary fights that built Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and changed combat sports forever. It all began with a skinny, sickly kid named Helio Gracie. Helio wasn't supposed to fight. He wasn't supposed to do anything physical at all. He was the frail younger brother in a rough Brazilian family of fighters. But Helio had one gift: he could think under pressure. When he discovered judo, then called Kano Jiu-Jitsu, he realized something important. He didn't have the athleticism to beat stronger men, but he could use leverage, angles, and patience. Every time a bigger opponent tried to crush him, Helio found a way to survive. Soon it wasn't just self-defense, it became a philosophy. If technique is perfect, size doesn't matter. Helio Gracie. But how do you prove something that bold? Simple. You challenge the world. In the 1930s and 40s, the Gracie brothers, Carlos and Helio, started issuing open invitations. Come to our academy, try to beat us. Any style, no rules, no excuses. This was unheard of at the time. Martial arts were mysterious, often untested, and protected by secrecy and tradition. But the Gracies wanted smoke with everyone. Karate fighters, wrestlers, boxers, street fighters, even professional tough guys and circus strongmen. Anyone who thought their style was better could walk right into the Gracie Academy and leave with a lesson they'd never forget. These weren't tournaments. There were no weight classes, no gloves, often no time limit, just pure survival. The Gracie Challenge wasn't a marketing tactic, it was a mission. Their goal? Prove to Brazil and eventually the world that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was the most effective fighting system on the planet. Helio became the face of the movement, the frail kid now fighting giants. One of his most famous early matches was against the judo champion Kato. Kato outweighed him by a massive margin. The Japanese believed the fight would be over in seconds, but Helio dragged the match into deep water, outlasted him, and eventually choked him unconscious. Crowds went wild. Brazil had never seen anything like it. This led to an even bigger challenge, a no-time limit match against the legendary Masahiko Kimura, considered one of the toughest judoka in history. Helio lasted longer than anyone expected. Kimura later said, "He had the spirit of a warrior. He did not know surrender." Although Helio lost, Kimura was so impressed he asked for a picture together and even allowed the arm lock he used to be named after him, the Kimura. Helio wasn't undefeated, but he was undeniable. And every challenge match he took pushed the Gracie name further into martial arts myth. Fast forward to the 1970s and 80s. Helio's sons were now the next generation of warriors. Rickson, Royler, Rorion, Rolls, Carlson, each with a different personality, but all trained with one mission: defend the Gracie name. Rickson Gracie, in particular, became a legend among legends. He took the challenge concept global. Street fights, dojo challenges, veil tudo events, unsanctioned bouts. Rickson dominated them all. In Brazil, stories about Rickson became almost supernatural. People said, "He's the best fighter alive. If you beat Rickson, you beat the entire Gracie family." But while Rickson was building a mythical reputation, Rorion Gracie was building something bigger. When Rorion moved to America, he took the Gracie Challenge with him. He invited karate black belts, wrestlers, kung fu practitioners, you name it, to test themselves in his garage in California. Most fights lasted less than a minute. Word spread fast, but Rorion had an even bigger idea: a tournament. No rules, almost, no weight classes. All martial arts, one winner. A real-life version of the Gracie Challenge, broadcast to the world. In 1993, this idea became the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC. And to represent the family, Rorion chose not the biggest Gracie, not the strongest, but the one who best represented Helio's philosophy, a skinny, calm, quiet technician named Royce Gracie. Royce walked into the cage looking like he shouldn't be there, and then proceeded to choke out giants, lock up heavyweights, and submit fighters who'd never even imagined ground fighting. Overnight, the Gracie Challenge became a global phenomenon, and the world finally understood: technique beats strength, evolution beats tradition, and ground fighting changes everything. Today, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is everywhere. Gyms on every corner, MMA fighters in every country, police forces, military groups, and self-defense instructors using it daily. None of that would exist without the Gracie Challenge. Those raw, unregulated, high-risk fights, those crazy dojo wars, those beach battles and parking lot showdowns, they forced martial arts to evolve. The Gracie family didn't just promote a fighting style, they started a revolution. Whether you love them or hate them, you can't deny it. They changed the world through combat. And it all began with a sickly kid, a stubborn belief in technique, and a challenge to anyone willing to step onto the mats. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the Gracie Family Challenge matches, hit subscribe, because we've got more deep dive fight history coming soon.